Steven Gia. He's live and direct in the building. Hey, Steven.
Hey, I'm here. I'm happy to be here today. And as we do it in Gentlemen's Club now, like we have to be there. We have to give them the best.
We try to give you the best. It's not we are both human, and then it's not as if we have all the answers. But the little that we have, we share. Like was it Paul that said, "Silver and gold I have not."
But stand up and walk.
We're done. We're done. Okay, so we don't have all the answers, like I said earlier, but we have been able to understand some certain things, and we feel like, okay, there's a need for us to sensitize men out there to also know these things that we've understood, and then help to build a generation of greater men out there in the society. We start from ourselves first of all, and then we continue by passing on, like I said, the little that we've known to you listening to us out there. But then, of course, the show is not just for the guys. We also have ladies that learn from what we're talking about every time. And then, of course, we also have ladies. Sometimes we tend to bring in ladies into the building just to understand some certain things about, whatever topic that we're bringing in. About 2 weeks ago, we talked about the wife material, and then after that, we needed to understand what ladies were thinking, or what ladies thought about that wife material concept, if they were okay with that tag. Because some persons will say, I'm not okay with that tag. You don't have to tag me. Don't tag me as a wife material. I don't want to be a wife. We have some persons that say they don't want to be a wife.
Yes.
Yeah. They just want to be a woman. Don't call me a woman. I think everybody has their own idea of what that is. But then let's not go way back into what we talked about. If you've missed previous episode, you've really missed a lot. But thank God you're here. Thank God you're joining us on this particular episode, which means you still have the chance to learn tonight. Okay, today she's not a new voice to the show. She's been on the show before, I think one time. Yeah, she's been on the show before one time, and we really had a wonderful time with her when she was around. And so we decided, okay, let's do this again. Let's bring her into the building again, and then let's pick from her very smart brains. We have Nan Pen in the building. Yay, First Lady herself. Hey, Nan Pen, how you doing?
I'm fine.
It's good to have you with us once again.
Yeah, it's good to be here again. And you called me smart and flattered.
Okay, so we all had a great time. The last time you were here with Joyce. Yeah. And it was really, really an insightful episode. Yeah, and so we thought, okay, it would be nice to bring these ladies back again into the building, and then just speak with them, learn from them, just like we're trying to learn every day. Like they say, learning never stops until you understand. So since we're still alive, we ought to keep learning every single day. And then today's episode, we're having some issues with our Facebook and now you know what's happening with Twitter. So yeah, Twitter is not a part of it, but we're having some issues with our Facebook. But also you could always drop off your own comment on our Instagram. Instagram is very, very much available. We're going to be going to Instagram today. So if you are on Instagram, do well to go follow us up on our Instagram page at Prestige FM 917MX, and let's just strictly do Instagram today, and then the call lines. If you have a question you want to pass through, you could call us up, or you have a contribution you want to add on today's topic, you could just hit us up on that particular number. We're going to be giving out the number pretty much later, where you could actually contribute on. So Steven, do the honors of the topic for today.
Okay. Topic for today. So me and Nampe were actually playing with the topic for today because I know you were not here. You were actually busy, and then we were playing on Facebook. So I know if you want to watch us live, you can actually go to Star Promoting Agency and you see us live there. So and you see the beautiful Nampen we're actually talking about.
She's like quite in the middle. Yeah. She's got two bodyguards.
Yes, I'm telling you.
And then she's sitting at the middle. That's the first lady right there. The first lady treatment.
That's what we're doing now. So, but the topic for today is the African men and women mentality. That's quite
Boom.
a
very
wide,
broad one.
I'm telling you, that's what Nampe actually said. Everybody is actually talking about it, and today we want to talk about it back to back.
We might not be able to finish up
Sure.
everything
Yeah.
on this particular topic. We started it off last
first,
week,
yeah.
and still we're not able. I think last week we pondered just on one.
Yeah.
From the beginning of the episode to the end, we just pondered on one.
And we're talking about personality, right?
Yes, we're talking about personality.
Last that particular time, and we still have religion, we still have relationship, and we still have
marriage, social status, and all.
You understand? And then here we are here with the NAMPEM, and we're going to talk about it together. And I know that today I will really have a very good time because I will listen to this intelligent and wise people around me.
Oh,
you understand?
Bust my head.
Can you clap for them? Clap for them.
Okay. All right. So today you've heard all the way from the CEO himself. He says, today we're going to be talking about the African man and African woman's mentality. It's not like that mentality is a bad one. There are the good sides of that mentality. And just like every other thing that has its advantages, there are also disadvantages. And then there are also the bad side of that mentality. And the reason why we're doing this topic today is so we can, help us understand the things that are bad and help us to manage them or change and help us understand the things that are good so we can continue to do them and probably improve ourselves in doing them better. And so that's why we're bringing on the topic. Last week, like we said earlier, we talked about we gave a brief insight on the topic, the African man's mentality. And so let's just do a recap. Since Nampen is here for the first time on this particular topic, let's just do a recap on what we talked about last week. Let's define African man. Now we're doing African man and African woman. So we'll do what's that word? Concussion. you know concussion rice is sweet.
Yes.
No, it is sweet. Forget that thing. Concussion rice is sweet.
You know one thing about Nampe is a professional cooker. So definitely we don't have. She's a professional chef. So.
No, did you say no?
No, I'm just being modest.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay.
Okay.
You know, actually, you called me CEO.
And she's a chef.
She's a chef and she's a CEO. She actually have a weekend kitchen that she does.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it on Facebook.
Yeah, seen those.
Yeah, she's always giving me.
Even waiting for my jollof rice.
Audio food to eat, food that we're not eating. We're just seeing it with our eye. But then let's continue with the show. Okay, so now let's just try to break this African man's mentality down so that people can understand what we're talking about today. Yeah. The African man's mentality. You want to throw more light on that?
Okay, when we talk about the African man's mentality, we're actually talking about how a man's behave, African men behave, how they see life, how they see relationship, how they see marriage, how they see religion, you understand, and how they relate to other people around them. So that's the mentality. When they relate it out to other people around them, then they will say, this person has a mentality about something like this, you understand. So that's actually what we talked about last upper week, not last week. So and the truth is that we discovered that in Africa there are some mentalities that we actually have that sometimes they are actually out of the line, or sometimes they are not in place, or this person agrees with it and this person does not agree with it, and they enforce it on people or on their children or on their friends and all those, and somebody is not comfortable about it. Let's use example like when a man wants to cry, they will say, a man are not supposed to cry.
I think that is not just attributed to Africans. Every kind of
no, but you know, Africans actually
country, every continent, they always put this.
Africans take it more.
Africans actually.
That's why I like Africans. One thing we can overdo the things.
You understand? So things like that. Actually, those are things where. But basically, last week the way we said, we actually pondered on the personality. You understand? So a man's personality, how we see things and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that means
African man mentality, like you said, it has to do with what he thinks.
Yeah.
All right, Nampen, African man or African woman's mentality. Let's hear you.
Okay, just like Stephen has rightfully said, so it means the African woman's mentality is how she sees things and how she relates it with her world and the people around her. Like, just like her perception about how her life should be or how things should be done to her or with her.
To her.
To her.
To her. I think let me strike that.
Yeah, that was
to her. Not okay, not with her. I think most African women are more concerned with things done to and for them than with them. But we're coming to that. We're coming to all of that. Okay, so quickly, I read somewhere, I heard somewhere, I can't remember where, but I know it just stuck in my head, that says everybody is a product of what they think. So when you say African man's mentality, African woman's mentality, it is what they think that they become.
Yeah.
So whatever you surround your thinking around, it's what eventually begins to attribute or begins to show itself in your physical appearance.
Yeah, because number one, I've discovered that whenever you stay around something for a
very long time, exactly.
You were saying that to me one particular period. You said, have you noticed that when you stay around somebody that is talking a lot and he has a pattern of talking, you start talking like that person.
Yeah.
And you were talking about a movie that you were watching and you started talking
I started talking like that.
Yeah. So it's something like that. You stay in the environment for a very long time. You discover that you start acting and behaving like people in that environment.
That is why whenever you're thinking about something over and over again, you discover that you begin to act out what you're thinking. So that is a mentality that has come to stick, and then you're acting it out. So that's why we said it. Mentality doesn't just stay in your head. Whenever you're thinking about something, you begin to act it out. So it becomes a part of you. And sometimes we know sometimes we're human, we think bad stuff. And then when we begin to act it out, it's beginning to, and then sometimes it sticks. It begins to become like a circle. We keep doing it over and over again. And most times, some of these things are bad. And we wouldn't even know they're bad until when someone comes to tell you. Have you ever had this encounter where you're doing something and you think it is good, and somebody comes to tell you, like, bro or babe, this thing is bad, and then you hear it from like 2-3 persons, and then you're okay, I actually thought this thing was a good thing. So that's how I kind of see mentality.
You see, in this mentality aspect, we're actually talking about this. You know, when you were talking the first time, I wanted to add to something, but you actually said, like what you just said now, you understand, sometimes we feel like we are doing something very, very right, and you will even be proud of it doing it. And the day they now tell you that, oh God, you are wrong, and then you're like, how comes? I've seen some things some statements I normally make, you understand, to anybody, and then they will tell me that these statements I feel is right, and then somebody now corrects me, this statement is wrong. You don't have to speak like this. You don't have to say this. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do this. And so you discover that there is a lot of things that people actually do, and they feel that they are right, and they believe that, okay, this is the right thing, but they need somebody to tell them, and that's where exposure comes in. You understand? Definitely, people need to be exposed. Like I was talking with one of my friends the other day, and then he was saying, okay, we came out from this group called YWAP. YWAP. I think most of you should know about YWAP. And then he said something, so well, thank God for YWAP. If not, we did this mean some kind of things, the way we think, the way we think sometimes, the way we act things, the way we, like, if I'm making something, like maybe designing a poster or making a video, I always have that mentality of, if a YWAP member sees this video, see this picture, you understand, how will he come? What will be his opinion? You understand? Because they will actually criticize the work you're actually doing very well. To see when a YWAP member tells you that, man, your work is fine, it's like like you won a million naira. You understand? So that's just it. You know, in those type of places, you have different set of people. For people from Kaduna, people from Abuja, people from Lagos, people from Jos, different places. So you discover that you start seeing pictures of how people behave in different places. They come together, and then you start learning things.
From
You don't
each
have
other.
to. That's when I learned that you don't have to go far before you learn other people's.
Thank God for social media and thank God for the internet,
Yeah.
where we get to learn good things and then bad things. They're all on social media and the internet. But then let's continue on the show. We've been talking about the topic that says the African man and the African woman's mentality. Like we said, just like everything that has a good path, there's always a bad path. So let's first of all, we did it last week, but let's do it again today. Let's talk about the good path, or some of the good things, some of the good mentality that we African men and we African women, have and we exhibit, and they are good, and we know that they are good. Let's talk about some of that. Nampen, do you want to start, or I could go?
No, you should start.
Okay. Okay. First off, let me come down to Nigeria, because this is where I grew up. This is where I am. This is where I can speak best of.
Yeah.
When I get to other countries, I'll talk about that one. When I get to other African countries, I'll talk about those ones. Okay, so quickly, let me just talk about our Nigerian ladies. I'm going to talk about Nigerian ladies because I'm definitely going to talk. I have a lot of things to talk about Nigerian ladies today.
Okay,
If we just be ready, be ready to hear plenty today.
So
Let me first of all praise African ladies.
Okay,
I mean, African ladies are 1 in a million.
Oh,
1 in a million.
Yes.
Forget that they don't have the long hair like the whites do, or the pointed nose like the whites
some
do.
of us have.
Yeah, some not as
Some of
pointed.
them.
But you need to seriously sit back one day and look at the African woman. Just look at the African woman one day. Sit back, look at the African woman. From her head to her toe, she is beautiful.
Yeah.
She is complete. Her skin is 1 in a million. I mean, especially for those that really take care of their skin, right?
Definitely.
They glow. They they look like honey. Ooh, honey. That's the perfect description for it. But then, apart from the physical appearances of the African woman, and I think in Africa, Nigeria most especially, they've really placed the role of a husband in a family as the head of the family, and then we have majority of African women acknowledge that fact that the man is the head of the family, and then majority, once they get married, they are subordinate to their husbands, and that is one quality that I would really give the African women, because it's not easy to have your opinion and then still submit your opinion to another person. It's not easy. So if a woman can do that for you, I mean, she deserves a round of applause.
Seriously.
I'm the kind of person that if I have my opinion, you have your opinion, let the both of us talk our opinion.
Yeah.
Anybody that we can, but we shall must talk that opinion. But an African woman, a real African woman, she might have an opinion, but she could keep her opinion to herself so that the husband's opinion could be supreme. I mean, it takes. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or it's a good thing. It's more of a good thing than a bad thing when it comes to Africa and our culture and all of that. It's more of a good thing than a bad thing. But then there's the whole civilization and that's coming, that's trying for gender equality and all of that. But then I like to take a practical example. There are times when my mom in our house, you really know that what she's trying to say is the right thing, and what the husband is saying, that's my dad, is wrong. But she won't counter him. She could try to tell him, oh, okay, this is how it's supposed to be, and once he's saying no, it's supposed to be like this, Shoo! She keeps quiet.
Right.
Allow him to do it his way. And then when he does his way and he fails, he comes back to her. And she gives him her own idea. And then he tries it and it works.
And
So
it makes him respect her.
Exactly. It's better most times that way than when both of you are throwing your opinions at each other and nobody is doing the listening. Both of you are just doing the talking and nobody is doing the listening. So I would definitely give the African women that. I mean, it's a quality that many people don't have, especially the men. The quality that most men don't have, and it's one that we should really, really imbibe.
Yeah.
Okay, so who else wants to join in? Let's talk on the goods of the African man or the African woman, the good side of that mentality.
Okay, since we are focusing on the good side.
Yeah.
Okay, I like to commend the men.
Ooh.
Not all of them, but most of them that actually make it. Okay, I didn't say Steven. I said the men. Okay, because most of them actually acknowledge the fact that the family is their responsibility, right? As they are placed as the head above or over all of them, and they actually play their role by taking good care of them and being available for them, not just financially, emotionally, and every otherwise. It's actually a good side.
Yeah,
so
true.
You guys have
true.
that one from me.
Yeah, true. Actually, true. African men are really, really good at, being there for their family.
Yeah.
Very good. I mean, someone said one time, he said it's only in Africa that a woman can a woman can marry a rich husband, but a man cannot marry a poor. How did they put it? Okay, it's only in Africa that a poor woman can marry a rich husband,
but a
but
poor man
cannot marry
a rich woman. Yeah.
So it's because at the end of the day you'll be like, if she's rich and I'm poor, there's going to be this and that and that.
They always want to have that financial security.
Exactly.
And it's good. It speaks well of them being responsible financially. So
you know this part where when someone just gets married, especially the man, when a man gets married, there's something they always tell him, now that you're married, your stomach will start coming out. That's because they believe that the women would do the cooking and will definitely. One of my uncle got married in December, and I saw him last week. I'm like, bro, what's up? It's like marriage is sweet too. I want to marry. You need to see him. He was looking really, really good. And I was like, what's up? You married December to now. I don't know who is pregnant among you or your wife, because just your stomach is looking so robust and all of that. But I think that's one of the things that married men face or enjoy.
Okay, so me, I want to add more to what you said about the African women, and I think one of the the truth is it's not easy to submit. As a man, I think I've submitted under some let's say offices and then maybe ministries and stuff like that. I know what it means to be submissive. See, when you are right, it still seems like you are wrong. In their eyes, anything that it is, that's what it is. You understand? So if you are right and they feel that they are right, you are wrong. You understand? And when you are wrong, you understand, and then they feel that you are right. So
it is what they feel
what they feel
that is the final say.
You understand? And it's not. That's why whenever ladies wants to take their time to actually accept a man's proposal, you understand, it's allowed for them to actually take their time, because they are submitting under somebody that has to. It's just like the person controlling their life. You understand? It's just like they don't have a say after. It's just like now that we're actually civilized. Okay, you tell me your opinion. What do you think about this? Like somebody like me now, if I'm into a relationship or when I get married, I want my wife to have her own opinion. You understand? Somebody that wants to marry me must marry me not because the parents said or this thing or family members or this thing. Let her have her own opinion. I decided to marry you. I decided to stay with you. You understand? So you see, in all those things, I respect them a lot, especially our parents, You understand? The way they are so submissive, they are submissive to the will of the husband. You understand? Their husband, and anything the husband say, that's the final say. You understand? And it's not easy, to be frank with you. It's not easy. Sometimes you discover that they cry secretly. You understand? Because sometimes they have to give away some things. You understand? And then again, check our African women. They wake up anything 6 o'clock.
You got what is 6 man?
6, 5, 7.
What is 6, 5?
5 o'clock.
So don't even sleep at all.
I'm telling you, and then they wake up. They have to take care of the children's.
Especially when they have a nursing child.
I'm telling you, you discover that they don't sleep early sometimes, and they will be the first to wake up. You as a man, you are still sleeping,
snoring.
You say, I worked throughout yesterday night, I was on my sister. Nothing you do. When you discover what they were, do you know that they can stay and do 3 things in the house,
multitasking at once? True.
And then you discover that they actually get everything right. You understand? So sometimes we have not started talking about the bad part. No. You understand?
We're still hailing them.
Yeah. So no, not like themselves. I'm talking about the bad part of us.
I'm glad you guys have a lot of.
Oh no, we do.
Well, we're not hiding it. We know that we have the bad part.
We know we have problems.
Yes, I'm telling you, big one. Because sometimes we don't value what we actually have.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me. Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to quickly add to what Nampen said about the husband or the father or the man in the house taking care of the household
responsibility.
Have you noticed that it actually starts from even the courtship era when courting, he does most of the providing, and then once it's time for the marriage right, he's the one, it's his family that's still paying the bride price. Have you heard of in Africa where they are paying groom price?
No.
To let you know that African men are brought up to take care of their wife. And then when they are into the marriage, and let's say, God forbid, we know it's inevitable, but then let's say the husband dies and then there's a son in the house, it is expected that the son is now the head of the family, takes care of the mother and then the siblings.
Do you know the funniest thing? They will not even tell him.
He will just naturally take up that responsibility. And so I think the culture has made it that way, and it's actually a mentality that we value so much. I remember when my dad died, I was the only one with my mom and then in the house, and then when people started coming to the house for condolence visit, they're like, even if your mom is crying, you have to be strong, you have to be the man of the house, blah blah blah. You don't be say cry to no do but someone had to just stand and be strong for the other on behalf of the other person. So I think that's a practical example of the men being the caregivers, or rather of the family.
Just like we know them as fathers whenever they call the word. I could even celebrate our parents, our African mothers and African fathers. In terms of grooming us as people, they try to give us that mentality. As a man, they will say, okay, they will start telling you things. Go and do this, go and do that. They tell you small things like, you're not supposed to be sleeping till this time, you are supposed to take care of your family. You discover that you're talking to ladies, they say, go and wash plate, go and do this.
My sister hates that kind of talk. When you're like, is this how you believe in your husband's house? She's like, oh God, why do you have to bring this up?
But the truth,
why do you guys hate it? It's the truth.
Like, why must you always bring that example up?
Like, that's if they want to get to people. If my mom wants to get my sister, that's that thing. Is this how you do in your husband's house? My sister will just weep.
My dad.
No, but you know the funniest thing, we like it, we don't like it. It's the actual truth. It's just that they don't have a better way of presenting it to you.
Nigerian parents are very blunt.
Blunt. We have the most blunt parents.
They are blunt. I remember when I saw an advert. Was it an advert or a movie where a son wanted to commit suicide and he was standing on the fence and he was like, "Dad, I want to jump." And the father like, "You want to jump? After that place not too far. Come jump for this place." Like, they're so blunt that even in times of,
as in, they will make you see like that. okay, I can't kill myself.
But sometimes it's not cool being too blunt.
It's not cool, yeah.
Sometimes it's not
We're coming to all
cool.
of that. Okay, I quickly want to add the fact when you're talking about African women, being submissive.
Yeah.
Quickly want to add to endurance.
Yeah.
African women they can endure, as in
God.
they can endure
pain for a very long time.
torment a lot, if not because of this recent society that any small became divorce.
I'm going to my father.
I'm going to my father's. Oh, I'm divorcing. I'm this. I'm that. I'm that. If you're talking with most of our parents, especially our mothers, they'll tell you that I'm tired of the marriage, but I cannot leave because I have children. I have to take care of. But most of this, especially most of our celebrities, they're not helping us because we discover celebrities are jumping from one marriage to the other, and then our youth want to copy this celebrity and do the same thing, and then we're beginning to lose our culture, our values of marriage and the
I was
sacredness of it.
watching a video clip. I think it was a Nigerian movie, and then the girl packed her load and everything to her mother's house, and then she was crying that the husband cheated.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Just once, and then the mother said, "Go back to your husband's house." Why now? He cheated on me, and she was trying to prove that she's right. The husband said, "Did you know that your father, I catch him every day cheating in this house, but I kept quiet. You did not know about it. I kept quiet. I said you were smiling, and do you know that our African mothers, they will smile at everything, and then you feel like everything is okay in the house. It's just two of them that knows what is going on. If you talk about their husband anyhow, they can fight you because of that. But you discover that she hide a lot of things that the father has been doing for a very long time.
Especially to the children. I'm
telling you. And then you discover that for a very long time you will not know. It's later when they are telling you that, okay, this what happened, and you'll be shocked. So you could take this for this particular period. So you discover that our African mothers are really
it's really sad of how when we talk about African women, we only talk about the African mothers. What about the African girls? They are also African women. And then it's beginning to seem like the African culture ends with our mothers. And the ladies that we're having these days. The ladies, I don't know, you help us explain that. Most of the ladies that we're having these days are not African women-ish. They are more like African Western, you know.
But truly, it's not like we are trying to sound like we are not exposed or something or civilized. We are just trying to bring out some values that it's not like they don't have some of the weak points they actually because there are some things they did not speak out.
We are not rooted like our Asian mothers and the rest are, because like you said, exposure. Like the world is evolving. So we are gradually imbibing Western culture. So there are some things we'll argue with personally. There are some things I'll argue with. Like I just disagree. Like it just doesn't sit well with me. Like when you were talking about the woman that left her husband's house because I believe I can do the same thing. Like, why is it cool for the father or the man to cheat in Africa, but if the woman does it, it's like she should be crucified. Thank you. She should be crucified while the men can sleep around all around, but African mentality sees it as okay because
African mentality generally permits a man to have more than one wife.
Really?
Yes. It is just the religion that comes to say, okay, that comes to separate and say, okay, as a Christian, you're supposed to marry just one wife. Our Muslims, they still marry more than one wife.
Okay, let's keep religion aside. Me and you personally, we got married. We agreed.
I know you will come up with something like this.
We agreed that we are getting married to each other, no third party, and then you cheat, and you expect me to be okay with it. And if I cheat, it's a problem. Like I disagree too.
No. This is what I'm actually talking about. Me, I agree with you to some certain extent, but there are some extent I don't agree with you. Like this one we're talking about, she just found out that her husband cheat once.
Yes, it's still a problem.
That is even
maybe
the ground.
It's even a mistake. Yes.
Oh,
No, sorry, let me not say mistake. Sorry,
how
I'm
do you
using the
choose by
wrong word.
mistake?
No, I'm using the wrong word.
Okay.
Maybe temptation. He was actually tempted and then
Everybody
he
gets
fell.
tempted.
Everybody gets
Yeah,
tempted,
and
actually.
then he failed. You understand?
Okay.
For once. You understand? And then you found out.
Can
and
I
then,
fall too so that we'll be even and
This
continue
one-
Your own,
my
your own
life?
falling, your
Your
own
own falling
But
is having.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
but I feel infidelity is the only condition that the Bible
Permits
that
divorce.
permits divorce.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yes,
true.
And I feel
according to
like
my
that
religion.
infidelity has to do with mentality, upbringing, and maybe perspective or discipline too.
Yeah, discipline. I'll
Yeah.
put that discipline.
And because you guys have the mentality that you are polygamous in nature,
No, no,
you
no,
are
no, no, no.
allowed.
It's not we guys.
Okay.
It's the African
Can-
mentality.
Thank you.
The African mentality says, okay, permits
that.
you
That's
to marry
why.
more
More
than
than
one
one
wife,
Yeah.
but it forbids a woman
Woman.
to have more than one husband.
man.
That's the African mentality.
Can you hold two
Okay.
husbands?
Can you hold husband?
No, it's a question. Answer.
Let's not go all the way to that because I'm beginning to think some other things here. Okay, now let's we're talking. We've talked. Do you want to add more about the good part of the African culture?
I think
African.
we have
Let's
even
go to
jumped
the bad
into
part.
the bad part already.
Oh yeah, this bad part.
Now
You need your
Let
shield.
me adjust my
You need your
shirt.
shield and your armors for this. Your shield and your armors for this.
So let's do this.
Oh my, you're even removing jackets. Oh my god. Okay, now let's talk about, like we said earlier, for every good thing, there's also a bad thing. For everything that has an advantage, there's also the disadvantage. Let's talk about some of the things that African men and African women do that are not really cool. And today we're here to learn and unlearn some of these things.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about that. Listener out there, don't forget that you could be part of the show. You could contribute by calling us up on 0903-8808-883. That is the number to call. Or you could drop your own comment on our Instagram page. We're having a little bit of a trouble with our Facebook page today, but our Instagram handle is very much available. Prestige FM 917 MX. You just see the post there. Just leave your comments below the post. The question for today is the African man and the African woman's mentality. What are those good things or the bad things that the African man or the African woman do that you feel like, okay, these things are good or these things are bad? You want to help us throw more light on this, please do want to call us up 0903-8808-883. While we talk on the show, we will definitely await your call. Okay, let's talk about some of the bad things that the African... Oh, Nampen, she's already raising up her hand.
I could not wait for it.
All right, let's hear.
I
Hit
have
us.
two urgent things I really want to say.
Hit me.
Okay, the first one. Okay, it's cool. Like, it's very good that the male person or figure accepts responsibility for everything. It's okay with me. But there's nothing wrong with the woman assisting financially too. Some men want their women to stay at home and do all things, but look at it this way: you don't know when you're going to die. You might not be there like forever. What happens when you die? Like, what happens to her? Okay, what if, okay, we're in Africa, right? What if your family comes to claim your wealth and she's doing absolutely nothing? So how does she continue to? So okay, personally, I feel like that should be discouraged unless you have another plan that could keep her going, like when you're not there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe will the properties to her, maybe let her inherit your business, but just
like
make sure
your
she's
next of
ready.
kin.
Yes. And if you want her to inherit your business, she can't just go there with nothing in her head. Just prepare her, make sure she's ready, like, to assist you. That's on a lighter note.
Okay.
Number two problem.
This number 2 is heavy. Let me hear. Let's hear it.
Okay, why do African men feel like everything home has to be for the women? Like, it's the woman's responsibility. Like, why? There's this post I once saw, like, a man doing chores in his house is actually not helping his wife. He's just doing chores in his house. And I agree. Nobody said it's the wife's duty to just do everything. Like you said, Africans, give us, we ladies, that mentality. Because in the Western world, it's not like that. Okay, maybe I'm talking about their culture too much, but I feel like I'm not saying I can't do all of that or we shouldn't. You get, it's a good thing that we do that, but I feel like we should meet each other halfway, like on everything. There's nothing wrong time to time. Okay, some men have busy schedules. Like, okay, what of weekends or on your free days? Some men will sit down, see their wives, or I don't know, do everything and do nothing. Cross leg, I even call you and send you to bring something on top
I'm
everything
serious.
you
And
be
then
doing.
and then when they serve you the food, you eat.
You still
After
say it's not nice.
And then after she has finished working the whole day, in the night you will not be pushing her again. Come and do another work. I don't understand. You want to kiss somebody's daughter?
Thank you. A little assistance will not hurt. Like, I'm just saying, men should disregard that thinking. It doesn't
Okay.
make you less of a man if you assist,
Okay.
especially in hefty jobs around.
Okay. Do you want to attend to this or?
No. What she said, but you know, there are some things some people say that you know is true. It's just for you not to. If you want to argue, you want to argue blindly. You understand? So to me, but what she's saying is actually cool. Is the right thing. It's just like me personally, the way I see family or see me and my wife is this way. That she owns the house. I've always had that mentality right from time. Maybe it's the way I was brought up from my house. She owns the house. Even though God forbid I have to break up with her, she owns the house. You understand? I will be the one to pack the load and leave the house. But African man's mentality, you throw the wife out.
Yeah.
But it's not so.
In the African mentality, the man owns the house.
You understand?
Including the wife.
You
The wife
understand?
is like a
A
property.
property,
too.
yeah.
But it's not supposed to be like that.
You will not blame some African men.
Yeah.
This is why I would say you won't blame some African men. Some African culture takes the wife like a commodity.
Yes.
That is why you won't blame some
exactly.
African men. He's the one that we. When an African man, I'm just taking an example, marries the wife, he's paying all her dowry, all her expenses,
yeah.
then the children's expenses too. Then maybe sometimes her family's expenses too are also on his head. That's like an African mentality. So just imagine you're the one that is giving people. Just the way our government is doing us now, the one that is giving us all the stipend. So the day they say, okay, we will not give you again, you see how it will be so hard on us, and then we begin to beg. And it's just somehow similar with the house. It's just what the African mentality has reduced the women to, and we really know that it's not good.
And you know, funny enough, that thing is really bad because it's actually opened our. When the children are actually growing up, you discover that they start seeing it with that particular eyes, and that's why they don't value women. They try to treat women anyhow. You discover that a guy will talk to a woman anyhow he actually feels like, and which is wrong. You understand? Because he's seeing her with that eyes like, no, this one are material for market where if you just buy at any time. If this one no good,
like some persons that said their wife is just good for the other room. I'm not calling them name, but we know them. We know them.
So the truth is that we have to come out from this mentality of seeing women. We have to see it like the fact that women have as much rights as you have as
a man. Yeah.
You understand? Because you people are together. See, you people are one. You can't. It's just when the Bible actually defined marriage, it's like you people are one.
Both persons come together.
So
as
that
one.
means, example, let me see, Nampen and Damilola, they are one now. Definitely, if I talk to Damilola about something, I'm talking to Nampen. He has to take permission from Nampen first before that thing should work, especially when it comes to something that it belongs to two of them. You understand? So I should not hear something different from you and from her. You understand? That's how it's supposed to be.
They both have to
agree in something. So I don't have. You see, I was telling somebody. I was telling somebody one. I said, if you have an elder brother at home, and then you want to ask your elder brother for money, you understand? The best thing you should do, try to know the wife, especially if he's a married elder brother. He has his own responsibility. You should know that at first. So when you are asking him for money, you should not ask him, ask the wife. You understand? Build up a relationship with the wife. Make her feel that okay.
You're even going too far. Start from your family. If you want to ask your father for something, most of us go through our mother.
Yes. That's the best
it's not as if we can't go to him, but we know the easiest way to get it without wahala is through that woman, because she knows it's the mumu button to press. She just go and do enter, and before you know, the money will come out. She knows what to do.
In all those ways, we actually make women feel less important. That's why you discover that their visions, their purpose die easily, and it's painful, because I'm this type of person that I actually encourage women's vision and their purpose in life. You understand? And most times whenever I see some women's vision die, because they feel that if I just go to, because do you know that we actually give ladies that mentality
that we are just for marriage? Yes, and I hate that mentality. We Africans, because that's why I hate it when they tell me, is that how you behave when you go to your husband? Like, they make it feel like African women are just designed for marriage. Once you grow, now you're of age, just go and get married. Like, it's not cool.